Lang Diem went out to solve all the rest, but still remembered her daughter in her heart. As soon as he thought of the appearance of the hospital depend on him, there was also an attached eyes when he left. He was a high, tall man who was really soft. Lang Diem did not care about the darkness, not convenient to go through other people's houses, so he took a large cherry bag and other fruits to Bar's house. Wanting to knock on the door, as if there was a sensor, the door was automatically opened. The happy smile on Lang Diem's face disappeared when he saw in his beloved daughter's hand was a bowl of broth so that she could clearly see her bottom of the bowl and her pink eyes. The main door was very close to the dining room, so his long legs quickly walked to the dining table, the sharp eyes like a falcon glancing at the dining table, immediately collecting all the conditions on the bottom of the eyes. He saw that his tortoise in the afternoon bought the tunnel to nourish the body for Thunan, now being filled in the bowl of High Ocean and Cao Vien Tan. But in the bowl of Bar and his brother-in-law is also full of large pieces of meat. Even in the bowl of Cao Lin Tuyet also has 1 or 2 pieces of meat. This one is eaten so much greasy mouth. As for the position that Thunan sat, even a salty dish did not have. In front of her only 2 vegetarian dishes and no grease. Lang Diem bit his teeth, so his brother and his brother-in-law took care of his daughter like this. Mr. Tu, what are you following the delicious food? Cao Vianyang completely did not pay attention to the cold face of Lang Diem. His gaze stared at the big pocket in Lang Diem's hand. It's Mr. Dao, Mr. Tu, you're so good. Cao Vientian was 7-year-old, also extremely happy. His fingers were greasy even without cleaning, and hurriedly jumped down to the chair to hug Lang Diem's thighs, but he was avoided by any hesitation. Mr. Tu, you are the best. This cherry is very expensive. My mother doesn't even buy it for me to eat anymore. Chow Viok Duong also went to the table to raise his hand to take it. Lang Diem saw that and immediately lifted up, immediately let the high piano be captured. Mr. Tu, Cao Vi Yang, was a little taken aback, obviously not clear what Lang Diem was meant. Before he rushed to get, Mr. Tu did not say immediately let him take it. This is I bought for my daughter to improve my body. The face of Lang Diem has just been sharp and sharp, especially the 4 words her daughter, also especially emphasized that the cold eyes moved to Kwe Hoa. Kwe Hoa was threatened by the deep face of Lang Diem to shudder, extremely stomach, sophisticated said, the tortoise has just been somewhat for none. Just Nan ate too fast, soon knowing that you will come here. We will leave a part for you. That's right. Lang Diem, do not misunderstand, Nan's body is weak, cannot eat too much meat. Is also the quintessence, drinking very well for the body. Review, meaning the medicine is warm, lower than the heat, hot. Xiao Han also added, the tone is extremely natural. Try cinnamon, just heard Xiao Han say that, then followed. Although she was a bit stubborn, she just thought of herself was the sister of Lang Diem. Perhaps Lang Diem dared to make up for this money and hit her. In the past, she was a girl. Even these tortoise soup did not have to drink. It was not even eating leftover rice soup. For this whole, it was so good. She just thought so. Immediately no longer felt nervous, but reasonable to look over. Lang Diem heard that Bar and his brother-in-law quibble like that, almost so angry that he laughed. When preparing to come, he thought that he was afraid of bothering his whole family. His hand did not go to the door. It was too strange, and his father was stingy. He would not buy these fruits to eat, therefore deliberately choosing expensive fruits to thank for taking care of his daughter. However, when Lang Diem came home, what did he see? Seeing a Bar's family caring for her daughter very well. So good that the girl's lips were dry. Can see that they have not been eaten. The broth in the bowl looks to the point of being able to see the whole bottom of the bowl. Just because he, pity her daughter, did not want her to suffer any injury, so she handed it to her house to take care of her house. But they dared to treat Thunan like that. When he was here, they dared to treat Shunan. Over the past few years, Tri Lang Diem was not here. They had not had any heart, but memorized his daughter. The personality of Nan Nan was simple and understood. So much frustration that was so crying. He did not dare to think about it. Just thinking about it. His mother wanted to hold a knife. Thinking deeply, in the past few years, the salary and allowance he sent in is not less, surplus to support a whole family. He knew that everyone had their own thoughts and did not want to compare that Baba took that money to help her family. Also because she thought that Ba had to split up a part of his thoughts to take care of his daughter for many years. So for wages and allowances where he went, he was not really too noticeable. But now Tri Lang Diem only knows, so he deliberately looked at Tri Thu Nan. His memory was no less, looking at the clothes on the girl who was wearing a set of clothes. A few years ago he saw, but what about the 3 high-speed brothers? The clothes on them are all new. Even the clothes on Baba and brother, in law, are also the best material. Tri Lang Diem was like being slapped in the face, on the face to the feeling of burning, so painful that he made him angry again. The first is for a sister, the next is for her daughter. Tri Lang Diem took a bowl of soup in Tri Thu Nan's hand and threw it to the ground. The bowl was thrown away when I came out. I was thrown down on the ground. Even though I ignored a messy carpet, he held a hand of Tri Thu Nan, saying, "Nan Nan, let's go home." Tri Thu Nan looked towards Tri Lang Diem, showing a pale smile. His eyes appeared in the steam, making people look at it and feel extremely heartbreaking. Nan Nan does not want to eat vegetarian food anymore. Tri Lang Diem looked heartbroken, hurriedly said, "We have to eat the most delicious dishes." Tri Kwe Hoa looked at the actions, bewildered face, unable to believe the look of the 2 people who wanted to leave. They want to go to eat alone? She greedily looked at a big fruit bag. This whole bag must at least 200 yuan, but Mr. Dao is extremely expensive again. Tutu, what are you going to do like that? Didn't you not eat rice yet? Sit down quickly, you warm up the food for me. Tri Cinnamon does not want expensive fruit bags like that no longer. She showed a smiling face hurriedly out of the table, approached Tri Lang Diem and very smoothly wanted to hold the bag in his hand. She happily said, "Going back and forth like that, Nan Nan's body will not stand it. I just put these things in the refrigerator first, lest it gets broken again. Do not need to be interested. Broken is better than entering someone's stomach." Tri Lang Diem satirized a sentence. The face of Tri Kwe Hoa immediately stiffened. She wanted to say it again and found that her sharp eyes were prestigious of Tri Lang Diem. She was threatened to hold her tongue. When he saw the 2 people going to leave, Xiao Vientian was always on one side, who did not endure any more, the familiar palace, and put his butt on the ground and cried, opened his mouth and cried loudly, "Mom, I want to eat cherry, I want to eat cherry." Tri Lang Diem did not see Xiao Vientian crying. His eyes were extremely cold. Two, I see. The baby is crying the same. Or can I give Vivi Tan a little first? Tri Kwe Hoa saw Tri Lang Diem, still indifferent when she smiled gentle with Tri Thu. Nan, standing upright on one side, impatiently said, "Thu Nan, Ms. Ba knew I was a good child. I see, my brother's temperament is naughty. This time I give it a little bit. This cherry will let my younger brother eat first. Next time Baba bought it for me, okay? Because what always wants you to give all the things that you have bought for my brother? From clothes to fruits." Tri Thu Nan eyes wildly, 2 rows of tears flowing, carrying confusing with the commissioner to say, "Miss Ba, she always said, that she is a loss of capital. Is it because she is a girl, so anything cannot eat, anything cannot ask? After that, she can only pick up other people's clothes to wear. Even eating rice is not eaten, can only eat leftovers of others." Tri Thu Nan's tears said, falling immediately, like a faucet with a waterlock valve. She was no longer a single Shunan. The old man, after a lifetime, he had to go through a big wind. The white paper was so dirty by the black ink. Therefore, if Tri Thu Nan before, it would be easy to be fascinated by the gentle attitude of Tri Kwe Hoa. Tri Kwe Hoa just heard this expression showed a confused feature. The feeling of the incident was deviating and immediately explained, "Nan Nan, grandchildren. What are you talking about? Nan, how can I say my aunt? Cao Han also feared. Nan, how could that? Trilang Diem huffed coldly, grinding his teeth and gnawing, the black eyes spread out of the cold light ray, glaring at Tri Kwe Hoa as if she wanted to devour her. In the heart of Tri Kwe Hoa tense, hurried back after a few steps. She basically could not stand the sharp gaze of Trilang Diem. Especially when Trilang Diem grew up, the back of the bare shoulder glaring really made people extremely scared. Trilang Diem walked quickly through the people. The atmosphere of the beast stared at Cao Han made this brother-in-law refrain from backward. He also thought Trilang Diem wanted to beat people, straight until his hands were against the table, slightly using his strength and bringing the whole dining table. Fluttering for a few hours, food and broth are poured to the floor, messing up on the ground. The whole family of Tri Kwe Hoa was threatened by Trilang Diem's movements, obviously not thinking about him. Even Cao Vien Tan was eating on the ground to be so threatened to back to Tri Kwe Hoa. Nan, we go to eat. The strong voice of Trilang Diem rang out. When looking at Tri Thu Nan, his sharp eyes turned into a piece of harmony, not giving the whole family of Cinnamon a little bit of face. Tri Kwe Hoa was so angry that he wanted to rise. Cao Han knew that Trilang Diem was a soldier. Even if he was angry, he did not dare to say anything. Cao Vien Tan was equally threatened, completely did not dare to cough anything. Tri Thun Han was also stunned by his father's actions. She widened her eyes wide, the corners of her lips slightly lifted, not thinking of her father because she did not want her to suffer a bit of frustration, but asserted to the house of Ms. Ba to clear the boundary like that. A little sentimental sentiment did not need such a temper, but co-like. Trilang Diem drove Tri Thun Han home. Their home was a small western villa in Bichba Vien Lan Din. Nor Trilang Diem has money, coming from his family for normal salaries, but he was not an object in the pond. On the contrary, he himself always had a unique and accurate vision, working relatively large and decisive. Beach Ba Vien Lan Din was a real estate area that had just been exploited a few years ago. The terrain was not favorable. The person who wished to spend money to buy was not much, until the state planned again. Since then, the location of the south of Tam Trung Street has been developed in the model of a centralized commercial area. This area suddenly turned into a delicious piece of pastries. Over time, this place became more and more yellow. Although this real estate area was not popular, Trilang Diem wanted to buy this mansion at that time. He still had to devote all his assets, even borrowing a lot of money. A few years ago, finally paid it all. When Trilang Diem parked in the garage, turned to see Tri Thu Nan sitting in the side seat leaning on the back of the chair to sleep. The long black hair hidden half of the cheeks, revealing a small face even more thin. He carefully observed his daughter a few more times, raising his hand to lift his hair and drooping down, to obscure her cheeks behind her ears, wanting to wake her, suddenly becoming stiff. He saw on the long eyelashes of Tri Thu Nan trembling. Above were traces of tears wet, like butterflies were wet by rain. Two beautiful eyebrows furrowed, her lips were bitten tightly. She quietly sat in the side of tears. Trilang Diem's heart was terrified. This is just now threatened to have a nightmare. All right, this comet, crying what to cry. I am not even because you die. What kind of pitiful pretend? We raised you for so long. It seems that it has been dedicated to the meaning. Later, you can kill yourself. I gave you a face and face without you, not ashamed. This is my home. Go away. Tri Thu Nan saw the girl like she was like casting, hugging, the ash jar kneeling down in front of the whole family of Tri Kwe Hoa, so cowardly begged her to let her father enter the Thovian. I can give up this house, my father and grandmother begged her. In the past, I was not good. Now, just beg her to respect my father so that he could have a grave to rest, the weak little girl pleaded. Moreover, she also stamped her head, knelt her knees, cried all tears. But Tri Kwe Hoa still displayed an ugly, fierce mold, directly took the ash jar in the girl's hands, directly threw it into the trash. The red. girl with 2 eyes, the limb hurriedly crawled towards it. In the moment when she was about to support the ash jar, Cao Lin Tuyet stood on one side and moved. She smiled scornfully, shocked the lid, turned down. None, have to go in the house, wake up. Tri Lang Diem gently pushed Tri Thunan, softly calling. Tri Thunan immediately opened his eyes and saw PH's face. The greatness of Tri Lang Diem, an anxious expression for her. Dad, go home. Tri Thunan smiled brightly at him, but Tri Lang Diem not only did not worry, whereas the bushy eyebrows were increasingly tight. Tri Thunan felt a bit of a cold emotion on her face. Tri Thunan was a little dumbfounded. The gland of this body was too developed. Her previous life she forgot to cry. Did you have a nightmare? Dreaming about what is so threatened? Tri Lang Diem wiped tears for Tri Thunan. I dreamed that I turned into a mouse, and there was an extremely scary cat always chasing me, and I wanted to swallow me. Tri Thunan smirked and smiled. I think I'm about to die. I still don't come to save me. Fi, Dongon cavalry, great sand. Worrying on Tri Lang Diem's face also dispersed a bit, tapping the head of Tri Thunan. He himself did not trust this word, but heard that Tri Thunan said so. He still hugged the attitude better, the city or 2 of them came home. The whole house was magnificent, but extremely empty. Cold, but cold. Not at all called a little people. On the furniture, there was a thin layer of dust. Nan, I just sit in the sofa first. Tri Lang Diem lifted the long cloth covering the sofa. Fortunately, the upper face was considered clean. He was Yigi Giwe, inside a white shirt, rolled up his sleeves, revealed his muscular arm rolling, telling, if you feel hungry, suck the candies first. Tri Thunan nodded once, just asked, do you need help? No need. Until then, the more messy. Tri Lang Diem laughed at her, tearing the candy and giving her to eat. After finishing, I turned to look at the living room and the kitchen on the first floor, took a deep breath, frustratedly scratching my hair, soon knowing that I would come. Back here, I called the cleaning person first. Daddy, my grandfather called Dad. Tri Thunan looked at the mobile phone ringing on the glass tea table and immediately turned towards